Welcome to Our Town. I'm Ken Connors here on Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. It's been a busy and exciting time for the local United Way. I'm going to be learning about the Tri-City Area United Way, its operations and programs on today's show. Philip Everhart, Resource Development Associate with the local United Way, in studio with me this morning, as well as Rose O'Hara. She's the Executive Director of the Tri-City Area United Way. Going to be talking mostly with Phil here, though, I understand, this morning. Phil, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Ken. It's great to be here. I appreciate you highlighting our efforts within the community.
Absolutely. Can we start with the campaign out there? I know this is sort of the last month or so of your annual campaign right now, Phil?
Correct. The annual campaign will wrap up the end of March. So we have one more month left to achieve our goal. We did set a rather lofty goal this year, knowing that the demand for services is increasing within our community. So we set a lofty goal. We are not there yet, so we would appreciate all the support that people would care to give to invest back into their community.
Can you tell me what's that goal this year?
We set the goal at $400,000 this year.
$400,000, and I know this comes after last year you did make that goal, and it was a big goal last year.
Last year we had a just over $300,000 goal, and we did achieve that. At the time, again, we recognized that there was a lot of issues within the community that we were working towards and needing to be addressed. And so we set a little bit higher goal this year, hoping to achieve that, to be able to better support and invest back in the community and the needs of the folks that live here.
You mentioned an increase in requests. Where's that coming from? Because I do also know that this ties into some of the programming ideas that are behind the Cradle to Career initiative that we talk about later in the show here.
The Cradle to Career initiative is a key piece of that increase in need. However, it is not the only increase. We have seen in our request for funding a nearly across-the-board increase in requests for funds due to increased need for services within the region. So between the agencies we work with and our Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative, there is an increased need. The Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative is going strong. It is growing, and our collective bodies that are now working together to achieve some of these things are coming up with some great programs to try and help address some of the needs that we have identified in the community.
When we talk about funding from the Tri-City Area United Way, those funds that go to you, how do they get dispersed? Who do they end up going to and helping?
Well, they help an awful lot of people through the various agencies and organizations that we work with within the community. Groups such as the Healthy Youth Coalition, the DAR, Imagination Library from the Menominee ISD, our Big Brothers Big Sisters programs, the Menominee County Elderly Services, and many more, all are seeing needs for increased programming and funding within the community. So we help fund them through your United Way dollars, whether that be directly given to the United Way to send out to the community where they're most needed, or whether people send it to the United Way saying, I would like this to help Marinette County Elderly Services, or so on. So the funds get to there through a number of ways, and from there, it goes into their programming to give back to the community and assist those that need that assistance.
Sounds like really the way to help out then is just sort of reach out to the United Way, at least to get started.
You can maximize your impact by reaching out to the United Way throughout the communities. Give us a call, check our website, look at our Facebook, find out what we've got going on, learn what we're doing within the community and how the community itself is stepping up and giving back through their various programmings, which through your United Way dollars and advocacy and volunteer time are all making us a stronger community.
That's right. We're not just necessarily talking about making a donation. You can also give just some time to help out folks.
We would love to have people volunteer. We've got a number of opportunities, especially within our Educational Success Cradle to Career program, for people to volunteer their time, their expertise in making our programs and our initiatives that much stronger. We do have the three pieces to that are very, very active still within the community that were formed a couple years ago at our summit.
When we talk about making one of those monetary donations to the Tri-City Area United Way, a few different ways that you go about this. You're working with businesses, but you're also, of course, working with individuals, too.
Absolutely. We hold throughout the campaign period, we hold campaigns at a large number of area businesses. We also open it up to any individuals that want to donate through writing checks, Facebook, and so on. We do have another new exciting way of donating that is pretty pain-free as far as donating back, investing back in the community, and that's through our new automatic checking account withdrawal, kind of like paying your utility bill and so on. Just every month it quietly disappears from your checking or savings account, and you never really see it. We can now set it up with you if you want to provide a small monthly donation where it doesn't really impact your budget an awful lot. We can do that. It comes out automatically, goes back into the community as an investment back to those that could use the assistance right here at home.
Again, a few different ways to help out the Tri-City Area United Way during their campaign season. That's running for about another month or so. A pretty good goal there this year in terms of fundraising, looking for about $400,000 through this year's United Way campaign locally. You can find out more. You can connect with the Tri-City Area United Way a few different ways. Check out their Facebook page. Their website is tricityAreaUnitedWay.com. Give them a call, 715-735-7785. Going to be talking more with Philip Everhart, the Resource Development Associate for the Tri-City Area United Way. Going to talk more about that Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative, also how the United Way is helping out with some tax help here this year. That's coming up here on Our Town. You've got it on Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. Stick around. Welcome back to Our Town. I'm Ken Connors. I'm joined today by Philip Everhart, the Resource Development Associate for the Tri-City Area United Way. We've been talking about the United Way, how they're helping out a lot of different area organizations and really the community. Of course, they have their annual campaign going on right now, a lofty goal set again this year, and they've got about a month or so left in that annual campaign, so looking for the community's help in that. Now, Philip, the last time I believe we really spoke in here, we were talking about the Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative. This was sort of coming out of that annual summit that I believe you had back in November or so, if I'm not mistaken. Let's talk about that. First off, again, a little update for those that don't know. Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative. What is it? What are those three big areas that are being addressed through that?
A couple years ago, the United Way went out to the community and said, what are your concerns? What do you feel that is the areas that we need to address the most as a community to strengthen our community and to invest back? And from that, our initiative, Educational Success Cradle to Career, came out, of which three key areas were identified as holding us back as a community. Substance abuse, educational opportunities for our youth, and parenting education. These are just the top three of a list of issues that were identified, but we've focused on these three as our initial effort in providing support to the community. Each of these groups have been working ever since then to develop new programs and plans to address the areas that they are identified. The great thing about this is these are made up of individuals and organizations within our community that have now come together to work collaboratively on the various issues. So it's great to see this effort within the community where we've come together as a whole community to address it, not as individual areas within the community working on it individually. So we have our educational or our substance abuse group working on there with 4 active subcommittees working on various programs, and we're actually starting up a 5th subcommittee. The subcommittees within our substance abuse group, one is looking at how to address the very young, the 0 to 8-year-olds, and how substance abuse impacts their lives. We have the youth group. This is headed up pretty much by the Healthy Youth Coalition, and working hard with our youth to make sure they understand the dangers of poor choices in life habits such as substance abuse, early use of alcohol, and so on and so forth. We have the business group, which is a very interesting group. This is now working on they've got a pilot program going where they're going to be going into businesses that's supporting us and actually speaking with the employee population about the impact of drug abuse on individual lives and on the business community. We have a prescribers group. This group is made up of our medical community, and they're working to look at making sure that the medical community understands alternatives and options and impacts that play based on how the prescribed medications work in the whole issue of substance abuse. And the fifth one is actually a group that we're bringing back that had started about a year and a half ago. We're called Impact. And they're going to be working on a couple areas. One is kind of on a speaker's bureau where they will be developing programs to take out to the public and let them know what's happening. They're going to be kind of a lobbying and get people engaged in the various aspects of making changes in our substance abuse issue. And they're also going to be looking at transitional living options for those coming out of the justice system to give them options on how not to go back to the situation that kind of led them there in the first place.
You've been talking a lot about the substance abuse program, the substance abuse aspect of it all. Again, that's not the only area that you're looking to address through Cradle to Career initiative.
No, we have two other areas that are working very hard also in this whole area. One is our educational opportunities mainly for the youth group, but it goes all the way up to college and up to careers. They have three groups actually working within them. They have another group working with the very young, the 0 to 8-year-olds. What opportunities do we have in the community for them? How do they become aware of it? How do they become part of it? We have the middle school youth, and it's a lot of the same issues, only they're coordinated differently because of the different age groups and demographics of our youth. And so what opportunities do we have in the community? And there is a lot out there. When we did our survey, we asked the community, what programs do you have for our youth? And our initial go-around was 119 different programs floating around out there. They're there for our youth to take advantage of. How do we make sure that they're aware of them? And the last group is our high school to post-secondary. And they've got a very unique and interesting program coming up that they're starting, working with piloting it at a local high school, where they will be taking high school youth, interested teachers, and any interested parents into businesses to look at how various occupations coordinate within our various businesses within the area. So they'll be piloting that program in May, and that will be taken out to a broader number of schools in the fall. And the last group that we have working out there very hard is our Parenting Education Committee. They're working on a program called Strengthening Families, which is a great program on helping families understand family dynamics, how to discipline, how to communicate, how to love one another within the family environment, and how to deal with stress and conflict. So they're working on developing that program and bringing that program in. One of the interesting things is all these programs require funding. They require volunteers. They require people's expertise. So if anyone is interested in working with us on any of these initiatives, we would be more than happy to bring you on to any of the three, whether it be parenting education, educational opportunities, or substance abuse, to help work on developing and implementing the various plans that these groups are coming up with.
That's right. Looking for those new members out there, you can, again, connect with the local United Way, their website, TriCityAreaUnitedWay.com. Check them out on their Facebook page. Their number is 715-735-7785. And besides actually volunteering some time and your expertise on these things, again, the whole Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative really going to be dependent upon that annual campaign that is going on right now. Some of that funding going to be critical for those ideas, those programs that these groups are hoping to implement.
Absolutely correct, Ken. The programs will cost us funding. There's no question about it, as well as continuing to fund those organizations that come to us and ask for assistance in funding their programs. And again, they have seen an increase in need and an increase in need in funding. We're finding an increase in need for support and funding for Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative, which will have a lasting impact on the community. So we're really looking forward to having the support within our communities in making all of these things happen and successful, whether it be through our partner agencies or through our educational success programs.
A lot going on with the Tri-City Area United Way. Of course, we've heard over the last year or two a lot about that Educational Success Cradle to Career initiative. Something going on right now is the Tri-City Area United Way is offering some tax help for some certain folks out there. Of course, it is tax season, well underway here. Want to talk about that more when we come back here on Our Town, here on Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. Not to mention, there's also a leadership change coming up at the local United Way. We'll touch on that when we come back here on Our Town. It's Our Town. I'm Ken Connors, joined today by Philip Everhart. He's the Resource Development Associate with the TriCity Area United Way. Rose O'Hara, the United Way's Executive Director, also in studio with me here this morning. United Way, a lot of great things going on right now. They're in the midst of their annual campaign with about a month or so left to go in that. Of course, United Way still undertaking that educational success Cradle to Career initiative. Right now, I want to talk about the United Way's annual program where they're giving some tax help here to the local community. This is something, Philip, that United Way has done for at least a few years in a row now.
Yeah, this is a program that's been well received in the community that we have been doing for a number of years now, called VITA. And VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. It is a program that we coordinate with our partner NWTC, who provides the students to do the actual tax preparation. These are students that receive additional specialized training in tax preparation through the IRS. It is an IRS program that provides this free tax assistance for those eligible. Eligibility is essentially if you make, I believe it's $62,000 a year or less. You're eligible for this tax assistance, as well as it is more of a basic tax preparation. It can't be a complex tax preparation with business income and other issues such as that. But it is a great resource for those in the community to have their taxes prepared for them in a manner that they know they will be done maximizing their returns, as well as getting all the benefits that they are eligible for, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and so on.
A good number of folks taking part in this already this year?
So far this year, we have a little over 200 registered. We can handle, based on the number of tax preparers and the season and time allotment we have, not quite 300. So we have room for a few more folks to sign up.
Obviously, this is going to be that big time of year to sign up right now. It's crunch time, basically.
It is getting to be crunch time. We are pretty full as far as our slots for tax preparation until early April. But there's the occasional cancellation and so on. So don't hesitate to give us a call at the United Way, 715-735-7785, to register for your tax preparation. We'll make sure that you're eligible before you get off the phone and get you scheduled in at the earliest possible time. I'm
sure that's been a good help here for the community in some ways, too, over the years, having this volunteer tax program available. I'm guessing it's helped a lot of folks get those taxes prepared, but that also is just good for the community in terms of, hey, maybe folks are getting a little extra back in those returns, hopefully, and putting that money back into our local economy.
Yeah, absolutely correct. If they're going to maximize their returns, that money will come back to our communities, be used, in our stores, in our restaurants, helping folks pay their utility bills. The program has been very good as well in that it is saving folks money that may not have the money to spend on tax preparation, but they're not sure or fully understand how to prepare it themselves, so they know that they would need someone to do it for them. If we didn't have this program here, they would have to pay a service somewhere, depending on eligibility. There are other programs out there that provide assistance, but this is a program that makes sure that those that need the help can have it.
All right, Philip, I know throughout the show here today, been referring to you as the Resource Development Associate for the Tri-City Area United Way. That title's not exactly going to be accurate, I suppose, at the end of the day here. Rose O'Hara, Executive Director, been in studio here with us. She's been staying kind of quiet, but Rose, it's your last day at the United Way, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's been a great run. I've been with United Way since 2002. And one thing I'd just like to say is that some things that you don't realize about United Way is that we're really, truly a backbone of the community. We are focusing on every aspect in both sides of the river. we understand what's going on with our babies. We understand what's going on with our youth. We understand what the businesses need. They're really looking for some employment that's going to be hurting them soon. And we understand what the elderly. It's not one thing. We see the whole picture. And so when we bring these educational success cradle to career, we truly can understand and be the backbone to help make sure that the community is heard, or that we've heard the community. So,
Rose, I know there's always going to be work to be done, but the Tri-City Area United Way, as you leave the organization, feel like it's in a good shape heading forward into the future?
Definitely. Phil Everhart will do an excellent job. He understands. He has the passion. He's going to take it further than where I've taken it. And that's, you're going to hear some really great things happening.
Rose, I'll just say too personally, been talking to you over the years here. Going to miss you there at the local United Way. But of course, I've been getting to know Philip pretty well here too. So looking forward to the future and everything that the United Way is going to do here in the M&M area. Congratulations and good luck in everything you do there, Rose.
Thank you. And I have to admit, Ken, I'm going to miss you. You make this interviewing process very easy.
Hopefully Philip thinks the same there too. We've been talking with the Tri-City Area United Way here on today's show. Rose O'Hara, the retiring executive director of the Tri-City Area United Way. Philip Everhart, their resource development associate, who's going to be taking over there as the executive director once Rose is gone here at the end of the day. I want to thank you all for tuning in this morning and listening in to what's going on with the local United Way. Of course, their campaign winding down here, and they do have their educational success cradle to career initiative going on too. You can always connect with the Tri-City Area United Way. Find out more on their website, tricityareaunitedway.com. They're also on Facebook, or just give them a call, 715-735-7785. I'm Ken Connors. I want to thank you for tuning into Our Town this week here on Hometown Radio, 103.7 FM and 1340 WAGN. Be sure to tune in again next week. I'll see you then.